What's up, everybody? ArrgThePirate here, and today we're gonna play the Rockman Geb, and this guy is a rock, guys. He's so much fun to play. You know, he does have a few things that you have to learn how to play with, but we'll go over that in a second. I'm gonna start out with Guardian's Blessing, Breastplate, 3 healing potions, and 2 wards for that first 1500 gold, and then I'm gonna pick up Hide of the Neiman Lion, Genji's Guard, Reinforced Shoes, Stone of Gaia, and Spirit Robe. Now, the last item I was thinking is probably Void Stone, but we'll kind of wait and see. We don't actually get to a full build, but I think that'd be a good spot. And then I'm going to pick up Chalice of Healing, and I'll have Blink for my last relic. Now, I'm starting out pretty early in the match, which I usually wait till the minions spawn in, but this is just kind of show y'all my ADC is pushed up very, very far, and I don't necessarily like doing that. You know, you can see he's going to go in on this wave here, and the wave is going to be pushed more towards their lane, which will free us up to rotate and pick up their items, you know, their buffs, things like that. But really, you have to be very careful if you want to play that aggressive, because they can definitely get poke on you. You know, if Athena was able to push out a little bit and get that grab and Arrg gets a stun, you know, my ADC might have gone down there. So you have to play very, very cautiously if you're going to push up like that. But you can see he's doing an absolute amazing job of getting that poke, everything like that. We want to try to get the minion aggro, keep it off of him as much as possible, because, you know, I am definitely more tanky than he is. But, okay, enough about that. Let's go over his kit. First up, we have his passive, Hard as a Rock, and this is one of my favorite passives. Crits only do 25% damage to you instead of their normal 100%. How awesome is that, guys? Next up, we have number 1, which is Rollout. Geb turns into a mass of rolling earth, damaging and slowing enemies he encounters, stopping at the first god he hits. He increases speed as he travels, and damage increases as well from 75% to 100% over 3 seconds. Once he hits his top speed, Geb becomes immune to CC, as well as knockbacks enemy gods when he hits him. Now, this ability is that tricky ability I'm talking about. If you straight up rush the enemy, you will knock them away from your team, and it is a very, very long knockback. So if you want to knock someone into the team, you need to come in behind them or beside them, knock them into a wall, something like that. You kind of have to play with that a little bit, but, you know, hey, it's an awesome ability. Next up, we have Shockwave. Geb creates a shockwave that ripples out from him in a cone, causing damage and knocking enemies up. The damage decreases the further away the enemy is, down to 50%. So if they're at max range, 50% damage. Next up, we have his 3 stone shield. Geb targets himself or an ally to put a shield around him. The shield blocks all damage and lasts until the time expires or it takes enough damage to be destroyed. The shield also cleanses any crowd control when applied. Awesome, guys. Anti-crowd control and a shield. That's great. Lastly, we have his ultimate Cataclysm. Geb pulls apart the earth, dealing magical damage to all enemy gods based on a percentage of their current health and stunning them. And it does 15, 20, 25, 30, 35% of their health. So if they're very, very low, this ability will not kill them, but the knock up, you should be able to kill them. And the stun duration, you know, it starts at 1.2 or 1.6 and goes up to 2 seconds. And really, you know, roll into the big team fight, use your Shockwave, use your Cataclysm, you stun everybody for a good portion of time, and you should be able to absolutely just melt them. Now, my Apollo has been pretty aggressive, so we kind of have to adapt how we're going to play based around him. And because if he's playing aggressive, I need to be there. If I just leave him, hey, that's a death sentence. So we want to adapt how we're playing. It's better to adapt as the Guardian than it would be as the ADC. We want him to be comfortable because he's the damage dealer. I'm just a sponge, guys. So really, I want to adapt how I'm playing for him, and I am using wards. Now I go for my 1. You see, we're able to get that Athena, but you know, we didn't really hit her the direction we wanted to. And as soon as I see, hey, Apollo might be taking some damage, we're going to go ahead and throw that 3 on and, you know, just get him shielded. We might have done it a little bit early, but that's all right. You know, We want to prevent any damage we can from him. Athena is here, you know, and you can see the turn radius on one is pretty short, like, or it's pretty long. And so you just have to be very cautious with that. I'm going to go ahead and pop my mantle because, you know, I'm out of mana, and since we're pushing this pretty hard, I want to stay engaged. We're able to get that stun on Athena, take her out, and then check this out, guys. We're going to go ahead and chase her down. Let's get him. Let's get him, guys. Oh, yeah. Tower dives at 5 minutes in. Ridiculous. But we're able to take him out. But I need to get out. I need to get out now. I'm going to go ahead and dip around into the void. Now, when I do back, I go ahead and pick up some more potions. One thing, guys, if you are planning on using a lot of potions, it's much more cost-effective to buy a chalice. But since I went with the build that I had, and I really want to keep wards, I decided, hey, I'm just going to buy the potions. I'll just sacrifice, you know, having to spend more money. As of right now, if I use all three of these potions, it would have been better for me to pick up a chalice. So really, you know, you just have to kind of weigh that with the type of god you're playing. If you're playing hyper aggressive and you're taking a lot of damage, you know, you definitely want to use more potions. We're gonna dip over to our dueling. You know, Apollo still, he's playing very aggressive, so we need to be super careful. And with Loki, he might show up and just be able to delete us. And, you know, Loki's level 5, so he's got his ult online. We have to be very careful. But luckily, Apollo is healing up, and we're going to go ahead and place a ward down just so we can get some vision in case we do have some rotation over here. And with the amount of aggression we have played so far, we could expect a jungle rotation very, very soon. Now, I'm going to go try to hit this Uller. We're able to get some poke on him, but we end up taking quite a few tower hits for it. And, you know, yeah, it probably definitely wasn't worth it, but hey, it is what it is. Now, Loki is in mid lane, so, you know, he was able to take out our Anubis. We need to be very careful of that. And so, hey, great. Apollo dips out, and we're going to go secure our buff. Now, once we pick up our Void Camp, we're going to get back to lane, but I'm not going to walk through the lane. I'm actually going to head around, and you can see we're able to stop this Athena. If she wouldn't have been there, we would have probably been able to go in on that Uller, but no problem at all. We're able to look at the amount of poke we got on her, guys. That's huge. I'm going to go ahead and use my mantle again just to get our Apollo topped off, you know, in case we want to make like a crazy dive coming up, something like that. But, you know, hey, it's just not the right time to do it. I'm not exactly sure where Apollo was going when he ulted. If I would have known he was going into, you know, wanting to dive that, I would have gone into the tower. But, you know, we're not in comms. We're just, you know, complete random. So we were definitely not on the same page. We're able to get another Shockwave to get a little bit more poke, and I'm kind of looking around. Let's go ahead and dive this tower, see if we can make something happen. We missed the target we were going for, and you know they're going in on me though, which is going to free Apollo up to get some poke. But he's going to go ahead and back, so you know, hey, I'm going to take this opportunity as well. Now, once I back, I'm going to go ahead and continue to buy wards and start working towards that Genji's. Now, it's kind of the same situation. I would be pretty good by buying a chalice of the oracles, you know, keep those vision up. And speaking of oracles, guys, picking up oracles is huge. It's a free ward, and just when you have time, sometimes you have to remind people, just hold alt and, you know, click on that area. Now we end up going in on this Athena. We're able to just get tons of CC on her, and then I end up shielding our Apollo. He's able to get out without taking any damage at all. You know, that's huge. And he's actually going to dive this Uller, which, great. He's able to take it out. Now, let's just go ahead and run through the tower. You know, I'm going to go ahead and tank that, and this is going to allow us to stay safe, you know, because we don't, even though I did just go through the jungle, we might have some rotation over here, and I really want to avoid that. So, you know, taking those few tower hits, that's really not that big of a deal at all. And I'm going to go ahead and try to clean up these minions. I end up getting my stun on Athena, and then, you know, hopefully we can get out of this situation. And once my one gets online, you know, we're going to be able to book it. And since it is just Athena, you know, she's not going to do a whole lot at this point, especially since we've kept her out, you know, we've kept her farmed out. And there Loki is. He shows up right on time. Luckily, our Apollo was able to dip out of that situation before, you know, before I died, and hopefully he can get out all the way. But again, guys, staying pushed up like that, you're just inviting yourself for those jungle rotations. Sometimes it works out, and it's much better that I die than our ADC dies, but hopefully, you know, our ADC can make some plays, and sure enough, he's able to take out Loki. Loki just chased a little bit too hard, but from here, we're able to get our second tier of our breastplate, or our Genjis, and then we're able to put on Chalice of the Oracles. So great, you know, I've got my free wards now, well, kind of, and we can definitely keep it warded on our side. Now, once I spawn back in, of course, I've got to head over to our duo lane, you know, and I'm keeping it warded up, even though, you know, I kind of did double that ward up. That's okay, you know, and then I'm going to go in on both this Oler and this Athena. We're going to keep them stunned, kind of body block as much as we can, try to keep them out of the tower. I was trying to get my stun on, or my shield onto our ADC, which, that's one thing, if you're right next to your ally, it's very easy to get your shield onto the wrong target, but, you know, hey, well, we ended up being alright. And then Rat was able to head over and take that Athena out. You know, huge plays. We're going to get this lane shoved and then actually back, because, you know, there is no reason to push into the T2 at this point. Now, I see Rat is, you know, he's having some issues, so I'm going to head over. Hopefully we can actually keep this engaged and keep him out. I tried to get my shield onto Rat there, and you saw I ended up hitting myself, you know, and I didn't realize Athena had actually came into that situation, so we got to get out, and you can see the amount of escape Geb has is absolutely huge. Fortunately, Loki was able to get out there, and we weren't able to keep Rat alive. But really, you could see, it's very easy to get your shield on the wrong person. If we would have got our shield on him, he wouldn't have gone down there. You know, it's just unfortunate. Now, from here, I'm going to head to mid lane. Now, I'm kind of looking like, hey, you know, I can really start rotating now, but there is some enemy presence, so I'm going to get back into that lane. Sure enough, I'm able to poke them out, and again, we're going to steal their Void. And guys, stealing Void, it not only gives you that buff, but it helps tremendously with having, you know, that farm. You're taking farm away from them and getting farm yourself. That's absolutely huge. Now, we have split up their ADC and their support, and so, you know, I want to keep them away from each other. I start rolling, and then I saw Apollo go back, but we need to get out. So that's exactly what we do, and now I can really start rotating, guys. We are really out of just our solid laning phase, so I definitely want to start supporting our team elsewhere other than just staying in that lane. Sure enough, that's exactly what we're going to do, and with Geb's 1, you can just roll across the map so fast, guys. I love it. I absolutely love it. And we're going to head into this solo lane to, you know, try to flip this fight and turn it around. Athena's backing right there. I'm just going to let Athena back. Let's get and help our team. I'm going to try to zone this Raw out as much as I can because he's a damage dealer, but of course I forgot that Achilles does more damage than anybody else in the game right now. It might have been better to hit him, but hey, no problem. Now Anubis heads into this fight, and you know he's trying to take Raw out, and you see, that knockback it can really displace an enemy very, very well, but if you hit them straight on, you're going to push them away from the fight, and if you're wanting to stay in the fight, you know, that's not always best. Now, our Anubis is staying in this fight, so again, I'm going to rotate over and push that Achilles away. You know, I'm thinking that we're going to retreat from this, and then I see Loki show up, so I gotta get back over there. Once my 1 gets off a cooldown, we're gonna head in, and our Anubis hurts, man. He was able to just delete that Loki, but again, they have 2 people show back up. Let's go ahead and just peel off of this fight. You know, our Bellona's heading in. Maybe I can dip through the jungle and get another boulder roll to where I can knock those enemies towards my team, and we displace them. But again, hitting that is just kind of tricky. But we are able to get some awesome stuns there, and then their team's really showing up here. So we need to be careful. And you know, I didn't realize our entire team showed up, and we're diving this tower. We're making it happen. So let's go for it. Rat's here. Luckily, we're able to get into tower before Rat starts getting hit, and we're able to take that tower damage instead of Rat. We end up going down, but hey, we traded ourselves for a couple of kills there, and you know, we're gonna end up getting that tower. That all in all, I'd say that was not the worst play ever. But still, you know, the tower diving is always pretty dangerous, especially this early in the match. Now, once I do spawn back in, you know, I'm kind of looking around, what do I want to get? And I decide, let's finally go for some boots. And I go ahead and get that shield on Bologna, you know, where there is some enemies over here. Let's make it happen. I'm going to get a stun through this wall, and I end up actually securing that kill, which, you know, I would definitely rather someone else get the kill. But, hey, kill secure, guys. All about it. I'm going to head to mid lane. I have no idea where Raw went. I thought he was right here, but he's able to dip out. And, you know, hey, is what it is. I've got to head to our duo lane now. You know, Arrg did manage to take out that tower, which is unfortunate. I'm going to go ahead and start my roll. Maybe I can actually get to him before it ends. I just started it a little bit too early. This is actually my first game with Geb, so, you know, I'm still learning his kit a little bit. And we go ahead and hit ourselves with the shield because I thought he was going to stun us, but he doesn't end up doing it. Anubis, man. Anubis' damage is just insane, guys. And he's able to take Arrg out, no problem at all. Now, he ends up leaving, and I want to make sure this lane is set in the right direction. So, you know, I go ahead and hit that lane up a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and work on my Void Camp. You know, at this point, Void Camp is still, it's definitely viable, but it's not as important. But we're going to go ahead and take this farm in case someone wanted to actually get the farm in that duo lane, but you can see Anubis peeled off, so no problem at all. I need to get this lane set to where it's pushing in the right direction, though. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit that second wave, and you see I just hit it with my Shockwave, and that's going to do enough damage to ensure that my lane will win, or my minions will win that fight, and then I'm going to head over to where my team is fighting. Now remember, guys, you definitely have to watch those lanes. Even, you know, the support's job, as a support, you don't do a very good job of cleaning up lanes, but you can get them set and pushing in the right direction. And if you see that duo lane, me simply just setting that, you can see it's pushing very, very well. And, you know, I was still able to get into that team fight and have a huge impact on that team fight. And I just spent 2 seconds worrying about that lane. So, guys, really make sure you're setting those lanes if you can. Now, I finally realized that the Fire Giant, whenever it does that line, he hits the ground and does a line right there. Get out of that. Now, I just now realized that, like, watching this video, I did not realize he did an attack like that. So, definitely just take a step back. Now, I'm pretty sure you can actually hit the Fire Giant from a little bit further away instead of actually staying right up in his face. And that will definitely make it easier to do that, but, you know, I just didn't realize it. Now, we're going to go ahead and go in on this Athena, and we're able to do work. You know, we should have been concentrating on the Raw a little bit more because you saw I was taking tons and tons of damage while we were focusing on the tank, but, you know, is what it is. We were in that very, very tight area, getting body blocked, everything like that. You know, it's best just to stay on that one target and make sure you get that kill. Sure enough, my team's able to take out both of them. You know, we end up going down, but that's okay. Now, once I finally spawn back in, we're actually going to head down to the mid lane. You know, the mid lane kind of gets set against us. You know, we're starting to get really tanky. We're, you know, get some health items on. That Stona guy, although the enemy team doesn't have really any knockbacks or grabs or anything, you know, regening that 2% is still a huge, huge item. And, you know, hey, that's great. Now, we're kind of in a goofy situation right here. I tried to head over to help Anubis, but he gets caught out. And, you know, I thought our Apollo was right behind me, so, you know, that was kind of why I was going in on that fight. And we get into this just crazy, nasty fight in the middle of their jungle at their red buff. And you can see, guys, I am very, very tanky, and we're able to use our mantle, you know, get some heals on people. We've just done such a great job of, you know, farming and everything like that, that we're staying very, very tanky. And the amount of CC we're able to provide for the team is so big that, you know, we're taking these guys out, and that's huge. Now, I'm really hoping to get this raw, and you can see I knock him so far away that, you know, it is what it is. But that freed us up to just completely focus on that tower, and my team's able to take down that tower. You know, that's huge, and from here, we need to get out of this fight. Now, of course, that's exactly what I do. I'm going to go ahead and back and finish off that Spirit Robe and then head to mid lane. Our Anubis is pushed up pretty far, so he's got to collapse, and I need to head over there, make sure that he's okay. We end up actually snagging that kill. I did not mean to do that. You know, I was wanting to make sure that he survived. Loki heads in, and we delete Loki, and then, you know, their Achilles heads in, and we're able to get that CC on him. Again, I tried to hit that shield on Anubis, but, you know, end up shielding myself, which, you know, hey, that's not a problem either. You know, as long as someone's getting the shield, I guess. We're gonna head into the jungle. You know, Rat's here dealing with Achilles, but, you know, he's gonna get out. I'm gonna head to this Uller. We're not able to get him, but Rat's kind of diving somewhere, so we need to kind of pay attention to what's going on. They end up taking out Achilles. He stayed in the jungle, and, you know, that's huge. Having those two gods that can have those just huge area, or, you know, flying through the sky ultimates is pretty big. I'm gonna go ahead and just dive this tower, you know. let's make it happen, guys. And sure enough, we delete Athena, and I'm still tanking tower hits, but that's okay. Let's just get this Phoenix down. I'm gonna use my cloak, get my heals up, and we're just gonna try to stay into this fight, keep these enemies CC'd, and you see my team's doing great. They're doing work, and we're gonna end up going in on their Titan, and the enemy team ends up surrendering. Oh, they could have just let us win. Well, it is what it is. But guys, this is going to wrap it up for this Geb guide. I really hope y'all enjoyed, and if you did, show me some love, leave me a comment, think about subscribing, add me on Smite, guys. I'd love to play with some of y'all, and we do have our clan, Scurvy Dog Crew, TSDC. I'd love to see y'all in it. Well, again, guys, thanks, and I'll see y'all in the next video.